So this channel is about finding the truth, no matter how hard that can be, and sometimes it's difficult to hear. And this little doozy, I think, is quite interesting. Well, very interesting, should I say. Now, normally, I would not think that this is something that really is such a big deal. But given how Harry and Meghan have gone on and on about how she's related to Nigerians and her ancestry goes back to Malta and that's why she got the trips that she did, I think this is very interesting and quite as to why the mainstream media have kept this quiet. So if you want to join me, my name is Ems. I am a qualified UK therapist, but I use my knowledge of the psychology and the behaviour and body language of individuals, mainly Harry and Meghan, and I do a deep dive into finding the truth in what is going on with those two. This could be the channel for you. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss future uploads, and even think about liking the video if you have, well, enjoyed it. If you haven't, well, maybe not so much. So that being said, if this is for you and you're stuck around till now, then, well, let's dive right in. So, my wonderful people that have decided to stay past the intro and find out what I'm talking about, let's get into it. So in doing a bit of a deep dive into the history of the royal family, the history of Harry, the history of Meghan, I came across this. Now it is in the mainstream media, so this isn't something that is what I would say like groundbreaking news. But what I do find interesting is that the mainstream media didn't go on and on about this, because I actually feel that it's quite a big deal. This is dating back to like Henry VIII times, right? So we're going way back in Ancestry. So I'm just going to read this out because obviously I have printed this out so I don't miss anything. So experts say, and this is documented, that the first Baron Hussey of Sleaford was to be executed by Henry VIII. Now, why is that relevant, you ask? Wait, let me just carry on. Experts said that Hussey was one of the king's diplomatic envoys. He served as chamberlain for the king's daughter, Princess Mary, so we're into royalty here, and was knighted at the Battle of Blackheath for his loyalty. However, the rift reportedly happened after Hussey was found guilty of treason. Now again, I hear you when you say, but Ems, how is this relevant to what we're talking about? Well, according to historians, Lord Hussey was the great-great-great-grandfather of Captain Christopher Hussey, who left England for America in the 1650s. And hold on, 10 generations later, Meghan's father was born into Captain Hussey's family tree in the US. He and Doria Ragland were married, and Rachel Meghan Markle was born. Harry and Meghan are actually distant cousins. Now, okay, I get that probably most of you are going to be sitting back going, well, you know, this was years and years ago. Doesn't really matter. You know, we're probably all related somewhere way down the line. And I get that, and I do. But I'm just going to explore this a little bit, and then I'm going to tell you why I think this is a big deal. So they're distant cousins through a mutual ancestor named High Sheriff of County Durham, Ralph Bowes. Now, a historian found that Meghan not only has ties to the royalty, but also of Tudor England. You know, the country that she trashed and called racist. That country. One of her great paternal grandmothers was a New Hampshire landowner who had royal blood. Bearing in mind that she's also accused the royal family, which I'm going to get to in another video, of the colonial racism, seems that Meghan's actually a little bit more intertwined with that than she thinks. So despite growing up on different sides of the Atlantic, Harry and Meghan are actually related by blood. They are related. of course, it's a very distant relation, as Ralph Bowes was born in 1480 in Streatham, County Durham, where he served as High Sheriff. But wait, there's more. Now, where is the connection, you may ask? Well, this man was actually Prince Harry's and Meghan's great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Now, again, I get it's years ago. The ancestry goes back along the Queen Mother's lineage on Prince Harry's side. So meanwhile, Meghan's family can be traced the line all the way back to the Englishman called Ralph Bowes. Ralph was a High Sheriff of County Durham, whose family seat was Streatham Castle. And I'm going to be putting up pictures here. And he lived there from 1480 to 1518. His estates, through a succession of male heirs, eventually passed down to Sir George Bowes, an MP related to Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon. Elizabeth would later become the Queen Mother when her daughter became Queen Elizabeth II in 1952. The Queen then, as we know, became Harry's grandmother when he was born in 1984. Meghan can trace her lineage back to hundreds of years when her ancestors first arrived in America. So then we're going back to Hussey. So Sheriff Ralph Bowes' granddaughter married John Hussey of Dorking, Surrey. So again, let's think about that. England. England. The country that she trashed. Their grandson, Christopher Hussey, moved to America in 1632, and that goes right the way back to the beginning where I said where Lord Hussey was the great-great-grandfather of Christopher Hussey, who left England for America in the 1650s. So he helped also found Nantucket, Massachusetts, I think it's called. Is it? Sorry if it's wrong. And in my other video, I'm going to be talking about something that I found out about that as well, which is going to blow up. If it was really public, let's be honest, it probably would blow all of everything that Meghan has said out of the water. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that one, because that's also a doozy. Mail Online, so this is online, so I'm going to put this up here, actually reported that it was this line of the family that would eventually produce Meghan. Her German ancestors also have their own coat of arms, thanks to grandfather Gordon, husband of Doris, who related to Abraham Merkel from 1630 of 1698. And so here we have on another side that Meghan's ancestry, she's actually linked to landowners who used slaves like property. And again, I'm going to be getting into that. And on the other side, she's related to Harry and is a descendant of white privilege. So just a little brief interval before I get into the next part of this video where I get into my rant that I do. So don't forget to like and subscribe this video because it does help the algorithm. Don't forget, if you have enjoyed this, please click that like button because it does make a difference. Drop a comment if you also want to do that too, because it does help. I am attempting to get my 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Don't think I'm going to get it, but you know what, we can keep hoping. But we're getting nearer and nearer, guys, so I'm really pleased about that. But also as well, if you want to treat me to a cuppa, you can do. I am getting my PO box sorted, so for those of you who want to send me a card, because I've had emails, I am sorting that too. And if you want to buy something from the Amazon wishlist, you can go across the link. All links are in the description box below. So don't forget to just click across to the more, and I think you can go and it's all there, everything that you need. Royal family addresses, everything there that you can follow me on the other places that I'm in, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble. That being said, so let's get back to the main video. I'm sure you're sitting there kind of thinking, maybe, you know, why is this relative? Well, let's look at what Harry and Meghan have done. Harry and Meghan have spent the last 4 to 5 years literally attacking the royal family, talking about colonial racism. They have spoken very outwardly about that. They've even garnered an award for tackling institutional racism within the royal family. Not only that, they've also completely trashed this country, and especially Meghan, how she would never come here again, we're all racist, etc. It's just horrendous. Well, it turns out that Meghan actually has more ties to England in her ancestry than a lot of other people that actually probably live in England right now. And not only that, she has spent all of this time going on and on and on and getting freebies, in a sense, of how on her mother's side, her grandmother, no wonder she's been quiet, right? No wonder she's been quiet about her father's side, because at the end of the day, and this is not anything against Thomas Markle, because it's possibly not even something that he knows. This is about Meghan, who has come out and trashed this country. But then not only that, used her heritage, her alleged heritage on her mother's side, to get the free holiday in Malta. Oh, I just want to go back and find my roots and really just connect with the people. Well, that's code for, well, no, I've never been to Malta, would like a free holiday, so let me just conjure up something and here we go. And I think that's exactly what she did with Nigeria. All of a sudden it's like, what was it? I'm 46% or something. I'm 46% Nigerian. Let's just forget about the German heritage that you've got there. Let's forget about the heritage connecting to white privilege, slavery, all of those things. Yeah, let's just forget about that. Let's just focus on where I can get my freebies and where I can actually get involved with the Commonwealth and try and undermine the royal family. Because funnily enough, I think if all of this come out, because not only that, they are related by blood. And okay, like I said before, I'm sure that there is possibly many of us that are married to somebody that if you trace it way, 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 way back, that you're related somehow. But like I've said, this is a woman who has literally spent 4 to 5 years attacking the very institution that her family is part of, is connected to. It's literally there in black and white. Harry and Meghan have the same great-great-great-great-grandfather. It's the same guy who is part of royalty. So it's the connections are just astounding to me. You know, she has this connection to Tudor England. They were landowners, and we all know back then that landowners, a lot of them had slaves. And this is in the UK, right? So this is not even, this is just even a drop in the ocean of what else I found out, which is going to be coming up in the next video. So yeah, so this is, to me, is huge, that she has spent all of this time publicly talking about how she wants to empower women, how she wants to come up against racism and tackle racism, but failed to mention, and I don't believe she doesn't know. I'm sorry, I don't. Because firstly, like I say, it was in the mainstream media. Now, okay, let's hypothetically say she doesn't know. Why doesn't she? Because if she's gone that far back, apparently, and done her ancestry of her mother's side, why would you not then automatically kind of go, oh, you know, I wonder about my father's side? Because we know that at the end of the day, this falling out with her father only happened when she met Harry, just, you know, a bit after she met Harry, once she secured Harry. So why didn't she do any research about her heritage? She's been to Germany. There's public media posts about her links to Germany. Now, again, it's interesting that she's kind of bypassed all of that and just focused more on what benefits her. But to me, also, why hasn't the mainstream media completely publicly exposed all of this? Especially when she's come out and trashed the UK. Because I'm not being funny, there's many of us that have gone back in our heritage, that have gone back to look at things. That's how I found out a lot of the things I did about being half Irish. Is that I look back on a lot of my history. And it did give me a newfound respect for a lot of places that I didn't even realise that I was connected to. You know, kind of in a sense made me want to visit them. And I understand that. And there were obviously, I'm sure for some people, there were times that, like, if you found out that perhaps there were, you know, you had a history, say if you lived in America and then your ancestors were part of English nobility, wouldn't that interest you? I mean, maybe some wouldn't, but it would for me. And so it's interesting that this woman who has rallied against the royal family, rallied against the British country that literally welcomed her, as one of their own, in a sense, and welcomed the wedding, welcomed her into the country, and was wonderful with her initially, only turned against her when we started to see the truth, when we started to see how actually she was being quite negative about the country, how she was kind of being in against the royal family. But she's actually got these links. It's right there. It's just happenstance that, Meghan was the one that was born over in America, and Harry was the one that was over here and born into the royal family. But the connection is there. It's there in black and white. You can look this up for yourself. But the reason I'm bringing it up is not because it's like, ooh, how, this is incestuous, because again, this is like years and years and years and years ago, but it's more of the absolute hypocrisy of Meghan, who's apparently gone and done all this research into her ancestry on Doria's side, but somehow didn't even bother to think about her father's side. And actually her father has connections to royalty. Doria doesn't. Doria's got connections in other areas, which we'll talk about in the next video. But the Markle family have connections to royalty, which then watered down, of course. Now, again, I'm not saying this because it's like, oh, it's really important that Meghan's now royalty. No, it's not about that at all. Because like I say, I'm sure if we went back years and years, there's a lot of us that have got connections to Tudor England or the royal family, maybe somewhere. It's more the fact that this woman has spent 5 years using her heritage to get the free trips in Malta, to get the sympathy, to then rally against racism, to rally against the royal family, to rally against the British people, to use that to rally into Nigeria and be like, this is why I should be here, and I should be part of the Commonwealth because I have more ties to this than the royal family. When actually she's got some horrendous things that should not even really be public. I'm sure she doesn't want public. This isn't particularly the biggest one. So I think that this is pretty big given what she's attempted to do. It's massive, in my opinion, that this woman has talked about the British people, the British country, and yet her heritage is part of that. And like I say, and not only that, she's actually related to Harry by blood. All right, a very watered down version, but it is still there. It is still there. But just somehow miss that bit. Why is that not important? If you're going back all these years to your ancestry and, but talking about only the positive things, then, what about, like I say, the fact that actually both you and Harry have got the same great-great-great-great-great-grandfather? The fact that you're connected to white privilege. Why is that not a story? Why is that not a big thing? If you want to come out and you want to speak about all of these things, then be open and honest and talk about everything. I mean, if she'd have done this, say, in the beginning, it had come out, no one would have held that against her because, like I say, it's years and years and years and years ago. But like I've said, this woman has garnered the reputation now of being someone who has completely rallied against the royal family, tried to take down the royal family, gone against, in a sense, white privilege, even though she has married the antithesis of white privilege, which their cult fan base seems to skip that bit. But isn't it interesting how they all seem to know so much about Meghan, but yet funny, none of them have mentioned this. None of them have mentioned the fact that Meghan and Harry are actually related by blood. None of them have mentioned the fact that Meghan is actually connected to Tudor England, to royalty. None of them have mentioned that. Funny that. Doesn't suit their narrative though, does it? Doesn't suit their narrative of their Princess Meghan, who is just the second coming, in a sense, to them, and is just this most amazing innocent person, but actually in a way her behavior shows that actually she's completely not honest. She's been happy to use whatever good bits of her ancestry gets her what she wants, but it's like, yeah, we're gonna ignore that bit. We're gonna ignore the fact that actually years ago, actually me and Harry have got the same grandfather. We're gonna ignore the fact that actually I've got connections to white privilege, and we own land and XYZ in the UK. We're gonna ignore that bit because that's not relative. That's not relative to what we're trying to do here. And that is create this persona of, we are fighting the institution, we are fighting white privilege, we are fighting the monarchy who are just so mean to me and it's just been so horrible and I've no idea why. That is what we've had with Meghan. And the mainstream media, again, even though there's been the odd little story, it hasn't blown up, it hasn't gone anywhere. I don't know how I would feel. So say if I met somebody and then I found out that actually we were related, albeit years and years and years and years ago, I still think that I would feel a bit, I don't know, I think I still might feel a bit icky about that. Even though my brain would be telling me that, oh, come on, it's not a big deal. This is like, hundreds of years ago. It's not a thing. It's like, because but it's like, it's one thing to not know and another to know. And so, yeah, hypothetically, maybe she didn't know, but I'm just not buying it. Given that she seems to do her research on everything, I'm not buying the fact that, because I completely think that if this had been a connection and this had been a lovely one, she would have been singing this from the rooftops. I am connected to royalty, so you can call me Princess Meghan. But because it comes with a negative connotation, i.e. I am actually blood related to my husband, and my ancestors on my father's side, who I am trying to rally against and make everyone believe is just a horrible, mean, nasty person when he's actually not and done everything for me, is actually connected to royalty. And like I say, this is in historian books. There's lots of places online you can research this. It's all there. I haven't just plucked this out of thin air, and I'm sure some people have even talked about it before, but it is there. And as I've said, this wouldn't be a big deal at all if Meghan was a lovely person and hadn't done what she'd done. But given the fact that she has used her past to try to attack the royal family, when she has gone on about colonial racism and all of the things that she's said about them, but failed to actually garner the fact that she's got these links that are part of all of that intertwined, is a joke. Is a joke. When she sat there and I'm sure, had discussions with people about reparations and how the royal family need to apologise for everything, but probably failed to mention, actually, if you kind of dig far back, yeah, my family are kind of in there as well. Yeah, funny that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. This deserves to be spoken about. Because if it was anybody else, I'd have been like, nah, who cares? But because it's her, no. This deserves to be spoken about because of what you've done. If you're going to be open and honest about things, let's get it all out there, lady. Let's have it all out. All of your little secrets. Because at the end of the day, this is relative to what you've spoken about. What you've done, little things you've done in your past, whatever, fine. But this, no. This is big, in my opinion, because of what you have attempted to do to the royal family. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Do you agree with me, not agree with me? What are your thoughts? But please always keep it respectful, because as I know, I like debate here. I love reading your comments, but there is no need to be attacking or bullying, whether it's to me or somebody else. We can all have a discussion here without having that. So if you enjoy this channel, where you enjoy finding the truth, this is not just clickbait, this is truth. When we're getting to the bottom of things, if you enjoy this type of channel where I use my expertise, my knowledge of being in the world of psychology, and I use this to look at behavior, body language, what is kind of going on, then this is the channel for you. So please subscribe so you do not miss future uploads. Make sure that you click all on the notification bell, so that helps you get the notifications that come through. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button. If you haven't, well, I guess you're going to click the dislike, but that's okay too. I've had emails where people are like, I'd like to send you a Christmas card, don't know where to send it. I am sorting that this week, so hopefully you will get that also. So don't forget, closing date for the Christmas competition, 25th of November. So if you haven't got your pictures sent in, then please think about doing so. Send this to my email address that goes across the bottom here. It's got to be a Christmas picture. The details of the competition have gone up on Instagram, but I'm also going to put them up on the community page here as well. So you've got all the details of how to join for the Christmas giveaway. And like I say, the closing date is the 25th of November. So that being said, thank you as always for joining in this video and taking part in the discussion that we're probably going to have in a minute. So as always, I'll see you in the next video. I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye.